We know it's all about the money. We know they lie. We know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?
Well, they call it Tiff in the puncher. You can say that they're a little pissed. They're getting a little sick of this, running into court, swinging that fist. They're calling it child protection. They're taking them out of our possession. Constitution says they got no jurisdiction. Let's shove it down their throats. Let's shove it down their throat. Let's shove it down their throats. Let's shove it down their throat. Let's shove it down their throats. Let's shove it down their throat. Let's shove it down their throats. This is for the ones in the trenches, lost the children and had no defenses. See the eyes of the innocent. It has never been a pretty business. You can feel it when you walk in the courtroom. This is not about you, not about the family. Love, it's about the power, the money, the fun. Let's shove it down their throats. 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 We got Tiff in the Punisher. 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 Let's shove it down their throat. Let's shove it down their throats. 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 Let's shove it down their throats.
Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down. Fight for the children in every town. They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior. We cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop.
Turn your mic on.
What's up, Tiff?
Not much.
That's good. It's a good day of not much is a day of not much. You guys had some good news, right? You and Spanny. I saw the article that you sent me this morning. You guys got a child home or something? I saw.
Yeah, I think he goes home on the 17th.
Oh, that's good.
That's the one that Spanny called me and was like, I need your help. So I asked Grandma a couple questions. She answered them. I said, the minute that baby takes his first breath, go file for custody. CPS tried to lie and say she had a case. She contacted the state. They said, we have nothing on you. The judge said, give the baby to Grandma. And now he's going home after 2 years. He's going home. I'm excited for her.
2 years 2 years this has been, even though the 2 years to finally go home.
Yeah, but we kept him out of the system. We got him into kinship care.
So he knows his mom and he knows who his family is and everything.
Yeah, and when she first got him, they were coming to her house. Oh, you have to sign up to be a foster parent. We were like, no, you don't. You don't have to do anything. The judge gave you custody, not them.
Right.
So yeah, and now he's going home with his mom and dad.
That's great. That's good stuff. I mean, that's just it's so tough because that 2 years has been lost by that family. I mean, even though it was kinship, I mean, that's awesome that there's kinship, but what about the 2 years of like the learning, the crawling, the rolling over, the bonding, the all of that stuff that's been lost? Like there's no way of you getting that back.
No, but I do believe that she had a liberal visitation. So she spent a lot of time with them too, which is good. But yeah, grandma did exactly what I told her to do, and she won. And now mom has the baby back, is getting the baby back. I'm so excited.
That's great. Hey, do you know what the reasonable and prudent parent standard is?
No.
That is, the term reasonable and prudent parent standard means the standard characterized by careful and sensible parental decisions that maintain the health, safety, and best interests of a child, while at the same time encouraging the emotional and developmental growth of the child, that a caregiver shall use when determining whether to allow a child in foster care under the responsibility of the state to participate in extracurricular enrichment, cultural, and societal activities. For purposes of subparagraph A, the term caregiver means foster parent with whom a child in foster care has been placed or designated official for a child care institution in which a child in foster care has been placed. So isn't the whole idea of the foster family supposed to be reunification? Yes. Well, that doesn't really say that there, does it? No, it doesn't. That says characterized by their careful and sensible parental decisions.
They don't have parental decisions because they're not the parent.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And then I was reading some stuff today, and it's absolutely why they are having everybody get foster homes now. So when you get, even if it's in kinship care, they make you get a foster home license.
They can't make you do that.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're forcing people to do it. They're saying that their place is not an acceptable establishment for the child.
Do you know why they're doing that?
I sure do, Tiff, but why don't you tell everybody
why? Because
the
more people they get to be quote unquote foster parents, the more fucking money the state's gonna make.
Yep. Every one of those houses now become an institution for them. Every one of them. So they just keep pa-ching, pa-ching, pa-ching. This is why they don't push kinship.
Correct.
If they do push kinship care, they make you do this now. I know in the state of Maine, it's a requirement.
That's no. Oh no. They would have an issue with me here. That's you're forcing me.
They have an issue.
You're trying to force me to do something against my will, and I'm not doing it.
Well, I mean, all of this is against your will, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I told him that night.
This is all none of this is decided by any of us parents that decided that our kids should be taken away. And I mean, even if we were having a hard time of life, I mean, I think that we would all rather work through it with our kids than we would rather than to have them taken away. Because how are you going to work through problems when your heart's been torn out and you are without the one thing that's keeping, in some cases, that's keeping everything together for you? That is the glue. And I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I don't think people should stay together for their children, but who cares? It's not my decision to make for anybody else what makes them stay together or whatever. But if that is the case, why would you remove that away? Right? Like, why would you take something away that's so important to the recovery of a parent, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's their relationship, whether it's any of these things? Why would they allow the child, the one thing that both sides have that means more to them than anything on this earth, why would they take that away if their actual goal is to help you get better?
Because that's not their goal.
Doesn't make sense.
Their
Right.
goal is to divide and conquer, put your child in
Right.
foster care, collect federal funds,
Yeah.
and then at the end of 15 to 18 months, they're going to TPR you so the state can collect $150,000 to $200,000 off your child's back. Get the fuck out of here! I got a migraine. I'm
Yep.
not in the mood for their shit tonight. I'm telling you, I'm in rare form.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm just telling you what they're
Well,
saying.
that's
I'm
bullshit.
just telling
And
you.
somebody just said that's a
Yep.
requirement in California too. Well, California's fucking broke.
Mhm. I don't see how. I mean, how many kids does California get taken away every year?
Well, you should really wonder about that $8 billion train that Newsom's trying to put in place that's been going on for 10 years. I don't know. That's why they're broke.
Well, they're having a train go from where? Point A to point B?
Yeah.
Like every other fucking
Yeah,
train?
that's supposed to be like really fast. From here to DC is not supposed to take but like 5 hours or some shit. I don't know. I know it's been in the works for as long as he's been in office.
So I found all this interesting reading. That's what I'm reading right now. Like, this is the term case plan means a written document, which means the requirement of section 675A of this title and includes at least the following: a description of the type or home or institution in which a child is to be placed, including a discussion of the safety and appropriateness of the placement and how the agency which is responsible for the child plans to carry out the voluntary placement agreement entered into or judicial determination made with respect to the child in accordance with section 672A1 of this title. B, a plan for assuring that the child receives safe and proper care and that services are provided to the parents, child, and foster parents in order to improve conditions in the parent's home, facilitate return of the child to his or own safe home, or the permanent placement of the child, and addresses the needs of the child while in foster care, including a discussion of the appropriateness of the services that have been provided to the child under the plan. With respect to a child who has attained 14 years of age, the plan developed for the child in accordance with this paragraph and any revision or addition to the plan shall be developed in consultation with the child and at the option of the child with up to 2 members of the case planning team who are chosen by the child and who are not a foster parent or a caseworker for the child.
Well,
That's
yeah, well, we all
interesting.
know they don't follow that one.
Yeah. A state may reject an individual selected by a child to be a member of the case planning team at any time if the state has good cause to believe that the individual would not act in the best interest of the child.
You know, we need to get rid of the best interest of the child, just like we got rid of the tender years. The tender years. I don't. Do you
Yeah.
remember that? Are you old enough to remember that? Because
Well, I'm old enough to only know I remember it from reading
okay,
it, but no, I never had to deal with the tender
right. So the
years.
tender years, for people that don't know, when a couple would split up or whatever the case may be, the courts believe that because the child was so young that it should automatically be with the mother. So we kind of got out of that, right? Because not all moms are good moms, just like not all dads are good dads. So then we went from the tender years to the best interest of the child. But my question is, and I ask these a lot, and of course nobody wants to answer me. Who the fuck gave a judge looking at a piece of paper the authority to figure out what is in the best interest of anybody outside of their own family?
Well, I would think that I think that's Congress, Tiff.
Not even them. They can't even do what's best for the fucking country, more or less a fucking kid.
Right. When do they get? Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that that's where that comes from.
The only people they worry about is their own pockets. When they vote on a raise, of course, they're all going to agree to that. But we're in day 8 or 9 of a fucking shutdown, then they can't agree on shit.
Right. Are you feeling any effects of the shutdown?
Me personally, no, not yet. I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I mean, the schools have they still have school, right?
Well, here's the thing about the federal money that comes into the states right now. That money was already approved last year, so they have to give them that money. It's the money for the following year that we have to worry about.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you won't feel the repercussions of this shutdown directly until the
Right,
following year.
unless you're a federal worker and then you ain't going to see a fucking paycheck.
Well, that's a pisser.
Well, this is my whole thing about that too. Do we really need all these federal workers? I mean, really, do we really need them all? What are they doing? Do we really need all these state people?
Wearing nice suits.
Okay, and just like, and now I'm not ragging on social services as part of the SNAP and all that other shit, right? But you motherfuckers, that's not your money. I get so many parents calling me and saying, "Oh my God, Tiffany, I make $25 over the allowance for SNAP, EBT, whatever." I'm like, ugh. But if you'd have lied, you'd have got like $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you would have got caught lying, you might have gotten in jail too. But they can do it all the time.
They slap you on the wrist your first time.
Oh, they don't do anything to them the first time, or the second, or
No.
the third, or the fourth, or the seventh, or the ninth, or the 15th, or the 30th, or the 50th, or the
No.
100th, or the 20,000th, or whatever.
It's funny because Claire was in social service. They kicked her out. She was taking pictures of they had this fraud thing up there. Oh my God, if you think somebody's committing fraud, call. I said, don't these motherfuckers got the goddamn gall to put that shit up and they're committing fraud every day?
Right? Unbelievable. The fraud is where the fraud is, and that's right there in their own back doors.
And they got nerve to post it
You
on
know?
their fucking walls.
Yeah. Oh,
And
man,
then she
it's just
opened a
crazy.
book. They have 145 partners here in Winchester.
Ooh, Lord Almighty.
145 partners. I said, oh my God. And this town is not that big.
No, you have a little town.
Yeah.
But you're almost a city, right? How many people does it make to be a city?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't
either.
live in the city. I live
But-
on the outskirts. I live in the county.
You're in the hood,
No, I'm in the suburbs.
the
Yeah.
suburbs. Oh, all right. Well, that's nice. The suburbs.
Mhm.
Do you remember that movie with Tom Hanks, The Burbs?
No.
All right. Well, we'll move along then. So I'm going to continue on with this here. So the child's grade level performance, the child's school record, a record of the child's immunizations. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to go back here. Sorry about that. Sorry. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Let's see. Reject slate, blah, blah, blah. And state has good cause to believe that the individual does not act in the best interest of the child. One individual selected by a child to be a member of the child's case planning team may be designated to be the child's advisor and, as necessary, advocate with respect to the application of the reasonable and prudent parent standard to the child. The health and education records of the child, including the most recent information available regarding names and addresses of the child's health and educational providers, the child's grade level performance, the child's school record, a record of the child's immunizations, the child's known medical problems, the child's medications, and any other relevant health and education information concerning the child determined to be appropriate by the state agency. For a child who has attained 14 years of age or over, a written description of the programs and services which will help such child prepare for the transition from foster care to a successful adulthood. This I don't understand. What do they mean by this? Will help the child prepare from the transition from foster care to a successful adulthood.
You mean set them up for failure? Is that what you mean? To be homeless and end up in prison?
Basically, that's what this. Yeah, I mean basically that's what that means.
Yeah,
right?
but here's the thing. Why do they need their school records? They have no control over school. They have no control over the medical stuff, right? Like, that's bullshit. Because, well, I will tell you this, here in Virginia, our governor, who's on his way out, it Executive order number 2, the day he came in, said that the parents are in control, care, custody, medical decisions, school decisions. It doesn't matter. It's the parents, not the government. I downloaded that whole damn thing just to make sure, because I don't play with these people. I got that shit somewhere.
So check this out. In the case of a child with respect to whom the permanency plan is adoption or placement in another permanent home, documentation of the steps the agency is taking to find an adoptive family or other permanent living arrangement for the child, to place the child with an adoptive family, a fit and willing relative, a legal guardian, or in another planned permanent living arrangement, and to finalize the adoption or legal guardianship. At minimum, such documentation shall include child-specific recruitment efforts, such as the use of state, regional, and national adoption exchanges, including electronic exchange systems to facilitate orderly and timely in-state and interstate placements.
There's the trafficking.
Yep, right there. It says, in the case of a child with respect to whom the permanency plan is placement with a relative and receipt of kinship guardianship assistance payments, under Section 673 of this title, a description of the steps that the agency has taken to determine that it is not appropriate for the child to be returned home or adopted, the reasons for any separation of siblings during the placement, the reasons why a permanent placement with a fit and willing relative through a kinship guardianship assistance arrangement is in the child's best interest, the ways in which the child meets the eligibility requirements for kinship guardianship assistance payments, the efforts that the agency has made to discuss adoption by the child's relative foster parent as a more permanent alternative to legal guardianship, and in the case of a relative foster parent who has chosen not to pursue adoption, documentation of the reasons therefore, and the efforts made by the state agency to discuss with the child's parent or parents the kinship guardianship assistance arrangement or the reasons why the efforts were not made. I haven't heard anybody
Nope,
get
they
that.
don't do that shit. But I will tell you here in Virginia that if a CPS worker denies a kinship placement, so listen up, Virginia, you can request a reason why, and they have to write a letter to the Board of Social Services and explain why you are not a good placement, and it can't be no dumb shit. And they only have 15 days to do it, or the child goes into kinship care. I helped get that bill passed here in Virginia.
That's a very nice thing to do,
Well, yeah, it
Tiff.
was right smack dab in the middle of my daughter's case.
Oh my.
That's why it got done.
Uh-huh.
And they also are
So
supposed to be removing a lot of their barrier crimes, which they haven't done yet.
yeah, like all 297,000 of them or
Yeah,
whatever the hell it
35
is.
fucking pages of it.
Yeah. So it says a plan for ensuring the educational stability of the child while in foster care, including assurances that each placement of the child in foster care takes into account the appropriateness of the current educational setting and the proximity to the school in which the child is enrolled at the time of placement, and an assurance that the state agency is coordinated with appropriate local educational agencies as defined under Section 7801 of Title 20 to ensure that the child remains in the school in which the child is enrolled at the time of each placement. Or if remaining in such school is not in the best interest of the child, assurances by the state agency and the local educational agencies to provide immediate and appropriate enrollment in a new school with all of the educational records of the child provided to the school. That's what the term case plan means.
That part right there just means if the parents still know the child is here, we're going to take the child out of this school and we're going to place him somewhere else so the parents don't fucking know.
Correct. Yep. Sure is. Just deleting the parents. It's disgusting. Absolutely. What do these kids do if they get cancer and they don't know who their parents are, or they have health issues that were not disclosed during all of this? What do you do?
Exactly. Well, that's one of the problems that I have with women. Okay. And I'll just put it out there. I have a problem with women pinning babies on the wrong men. What happens in saying my philosophy is the same. What happens if this child gets sick and needs something from the other parent? Oh, he's not the parent, the father. Who's the father? Stop doing that shit. You don't know what could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right, because adoptions are supposed to be closed. Although in Virginia, if you were adopted, you can now go to DMV or Right Richmond and get a copy of your original birth certificate. That started July 1st. But anyway, getting back to that, you're right. There is really no history.
Yeah. You wipe it out. It's wiped out completely. So here's where I have a real problem. Where is it that it says that they can take an official government document, right, like a birth
Hmm.
certificate, and wipe that birth certificate out and change it to put the new parents' names on it? So that's fraud.
Okay, so you and I have talked about this. So what they do is they send in sort of like a court order, a motion to amend, but they send in an amended birth certificate. So what they do is when a child is adopted, they send in paperwork to amend the birth certificate and take the birth parents off. I mean, the original stays because the original is the original. So the next one
Right.
that you get is going to say Tiffany Wise, mother, Mitch Wise, father, child's name, birthday. The only part that stays the same, unless the child's name changes, is their birthday, right? Because they'll change their name unless they're older. They won't change anything but their last name. Then what they do is
Right.
they send an amendment to Social Security so that they get a whole new Social Security number. It's sort of like, and I told you this, being in witness protection program.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
have the original documents, hold on to them, but they're no good. They don't even exist anymore
Right. Well,
legally.
how can you do that? That should not be. I mean, that's like saying we can just change the Constitution.
Right. But because the shit has gone so far to the right or to the left, hell, whatever you want to say, that these people just do whatever they want. So, of course, to generate more money, you got to figure out a way for adopted kids to
Yep.
have adopted parent names and new social security number, a whole new identity, basically.
Man, it's crazy. It's absolutely
And
crazy.
I only found that out when I was talking to my daughter. Something she wanted to get her driver's license or something. I don't remember, but I said, get your birth certificate. She said, I have it. I said, is my name on it? She said, no. Birth mother. And she said the foster mother's name. And I said, oh my God. That's how I found out. And her social security
Mm,
number was changed.
man, that's just such a kick in the balls, isn't it? When you hear that your name's taken off of there.
Yep. But now I can go and get her original one because I am her birth mother and it's going to have my name on it and her name.
Wait a minute. So how does that work? You can go back and get that after what? You turn 18 or something?
No, 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 no. They just passed a law here in Virginia that went into effect July 1st. Anybody that was adopted in Virginia can come back and get their original birth certificates with their birth parents' names on them.
Wow.
Yep.
See, I've always thought of it like this. I've always thought when we were fighting these CPS cases that if you have the birth certificate to that child, then you're the owner. It's like the title of a truck, right? Like whoever has that birth certificate is the owner of the child.
Well,
It
you know,
should be
there's a
that way.
way to change a title too, right? You do know there's a
Well,
way.
understood, and that's what they've done. They've taken that same issue and now compounded it to a child. Like
Correct.
they've robbed you of that. They've stolen your title.
Yes.
And like everybody always says, don't put your title out in the glove box or whatever, because it's whoever has that title is their vehicle, it's their house, it's their whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the same should apply for the child.
Right. But if they're adopted, they amend their birth certificates.
Hmm,
But in
man.
Virginia, you can now come to Virginia if you were adopted here and get your original birth certificate with your birth parents' names on it.
Oh wow, we should push for that legislation everywhere.
Yes.
I wonder how many pieces of data they've destroyed with all such information, you know?
Well, I will say this. There's two things that they really don't destroy, and that's birth certificates and death certificates. But they don't look at them either because it's so easy to steal somebody who's died. It's so easy to steal their identity.
Yeah. Yep,
I
it
don't
is.
know. I'm just saying I be watching all them shows, okay?
Just saying,
Yeah, I'm just
educational,
saying.
entertainment and education.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what it's all about. So yeah, I thought that this was some interesting. I'm gonna put this up here. It's code
Put it on our
42.
website.
Yeah, it's 42 US code 675 definitions. Um I'll put it up here on the website, like Tiff says, and I'll also put the link to it in here too. Those are my own sound effects, by the way.
Wow.
Hello, Space Shot Darren. Yeah, there goes the link. Kristen's all right. Kristen's in the house. Gunnan's in here. Gunner's in the house. Hello from Pennsylvania. That's Michelle. Let's see who else. Alexandria. I don't know how you have time, Tiff. LOL.
Yeah, she's been on my show too. She's good at their bonds. Oh, she's awesome. She's good at the bonds. They took her baby because they said now she was a new mom. She didn't have what it took to be a new mom. Well, hell, if that's the case, we all should have had our kids taken when our
Yeah,
kids were born because them little suckers didn't come with no manual. I'm telling you.
right. And if they did, it was wrong.
Right, because let me tell you, my oldest and my youngest had colic, and I wanted to kill both of them. Okay, 6 hour
Yeah.
crying spells every night for 3 months. Oh
Oh my
my
God.
god,
Uh,
from 6 to midnight every night for 3 months, both of them. But yeah, so
that's
they
terrible.
TPR'd her too. Hi, Alex. I haven't talked to you in a while. I hope you're doing okay, honey.
Hello, Alex. Alicia. Did you get my notice, Alicia?
Wow, good for you, Gunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right, Christy. She said, "Look at all the dead voters." Yeah, right.
Yep. Yep.
I think when that shit came out here, there was like 2,000 people on the voter registry in Virginia that were dead. They removed them.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Alicia, did you see my message that I asked you if we could chat after the show? Yes, look at that right there. Yeah, we could do Facebook. I'll hit you up after the show, and we will talk. It's exciting. It's exciting. Exciting things are happening.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. Things are rolling as we see them. What about updates? We got any updates? Let's see what the YouTube says to us about updates and CPS stuff. I wish I tried to get a hold of that guy. I ran that phone number and it was a disconnected number.
Oh wow.
So we couldn't get any more information from him. And I'm really curious. Today I was like, damn it, I wish I knew what was going on with that dude.
Yeah.
And that was a great interview last night too with Billy. That was really cool. She's always so full of information.
Yes.
It was good. So if you guys missed that, check that out.
And go to their website too, tollandroll.com.
Yep. Tollandroll.com. Let's see here. What do we got? This framework combines what uh let's let's see. You know what? Let's try this. Let's check out wait a minute, what? Let's see here. Let's do this. Let's try this out. Foster care, and let's watch this. Let's see what we got.
Let's, as far as review purposes, and Mr. Hill, anything today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, the child's doing well in the new foster placement. I was disappointed with the results because I think we were really close to being able to close out the case with mom.
How does this affect your opinion about placement?
I didn't realize there was a second drug test, so that's the first that I'm hearing that. I was concerned with a positive test and felt like the removal at that time was appropriate. I honestly don't know what to do in face of the conflicting reports, so I'm not sure.
Well, let's do this. Let's get the test circulated and let me have opportunity to look through it. I'll email all of you what my thoughts are at that point in time, and then if anybody's categorically opposed, then we will reset this for a hearing as quickly as possible. Quite frankly, I mean, we've talked about it. I don't see the point in waiting 14 days just so Mr. Michelson can offer that. I mean, I'll at least give everybody an opportunity to weigh in on what my intent is at that point before we do anything.
Your Honor, I've sent the emails to yourself and Stacy and Mr. Hill and Mr. Trout. I'll send it after court to St. Francis. I'll need to look up their emails.
Okay.
I can forward that to him, Mr. Mux.
All right. So when I have an opportunity today, then I'll review it and I'll send everybody an email. For the moment, then, we'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the child's current placement. Our next scheduled hearing is the final, which is set for June 25th of 2024. Excuse me. And that'll be on a 9:00 docket. But if we need to have another hearing fairly soon, then we'll obviously address that this afternoon sometime when I send everybody an email.
Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
Judge, your email is going to address the OSAR and everything. When we get to that, we're not doing anything on that right now, correct?
Right. Yeah, I'll just follow up on that. So I am going to ask mom to go do a UA today. So she's got plenty of time to do that. So we'll go ahead and get that scheduled.
Your Honor, I don't mean to jump out of place here, but why don't we just do another hair strand as well? And if it's clean, then likely that last test was an outlier. And if it's dirty, then maybe it's dirty.
And I'm definitely not opposed to that, Your Honor.
If it's negative, we'll have the results back quickly. So, okay. All right. Ms. Madeline, I hate to ask you to do that, but I do think it's a good idea. Let's just do it.
No, that's fine. I completely understand.
Okay.
And I'm willing to do whatever, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Let's just go ahead and do both today, and then we'll get those results back. So let's just do this. I won't email until we get the results back.
Okay.
So as soon as you see those, Mr. Trout, if you would be sure to forward those to me,
Yes, ma'am.
and then I'll give a follow up to today's ruling.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. That's what we'll do then.
Thank you. Ms. Lawrence, if you'll get that paperwork sent over for the hair follicle on UA so she can get that done today.
Yes, sir. All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I'll be looking for Christina Hunter on this next case.
That baby's going home.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I hope so. But
I
the
believe
fact,
mom was clean.
yeah, she said, yeah, I believe so too. And they were saying that was a false drug test. I mean, that's what they're saying. If that's what they say, that's what they say. But even again, Tiff, what does the Supreme Court say?
It said it doesn't matter if the parents are using drugs. They're not looking at the best interest of the child. They're looking at the parent's behavior, and that's not where their focus is supposed to be. Their focus is supposed to be on the child. So it doesn't matter.
Yep. But time and time again, we find that they're going to just take the kid.
Yep.
Let's see what this one talks about.
Okay. While we're waiting for her, I'm going to go ahead and call the case and we'll take announcements and then we'll see if we can't get her connected.
Judge Vince Nowak for Duncan Kirkpatrick, the father. We're both present and we're ready, Judge.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of the kids, Duncan, who goes by Cope, and crew.
Okay.
Is that mom with dad?
Okay. All right then. So they are both present. All right. Ms. Hunter, then what do we have news since the court report?
I apologize, Your Honor. I don't have much of an update to be able to provide. At this moment, there was one other drug screen that was done on Miss Lorna that was not able to be completely fulfilled on the testing side. There was a fatal flaw because the seal was misapplied, so that hair follicle was not able to be tested fully. And that was done on 4/2. So outside of that, I don't have much else to report. From my understanding, they've been doing really well. They've been compliant with all the services. The kids are doing well.
Okay. Is she still living in Oklahoma?
Yeah, I believe so.
Ms. Kirkpatrick, are you still in Oklahoma?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So we've been able to get service providers and set everything up there, and we're not having any difficulty in that regard.
No.
Okay. And obviously the problem with the drug test was not anything that mom did. So
No, ma'am.
And Jeff, on that, we would go ahead and ask if we can do hair follicle and UAs on both parents today, just to get that stuff cleaned up.
both of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Kirkpatrick, then are you in town? Or are you in Amarillo today? Or are you in Oklahoma?
She asked you. Are you asking me?
I'm in Oklahoma. Lorna had a surgery scheduled for Friday, and she became sick and didn't get to have the surgery. But I came to help her with. She's having a surgery on her foot, and I'd come over to Oklahoma for a few days to help her with surgery. She's not going to be able to walk for 6 to 8 weeks, and was helping with that. And so I'm in Oklahoma with her right at the moment, and I'm about to be headed back to Lubbock.
When will you be back to Lubbock?
It's about a 6-hour drive. I'm going to be leaving after this, and then I'll be back.
What, Ms. Kirkpatrick, when's your surgery scheduled?
They rescheduled it for the 26th. So not this Friday, but next Friday.
All right. Can you both then say by 5 o'clock tomorrow, can you both get to where you need to go as far as testing is concerned?
I think so. Yeah.
Once the tests are ready, Your Honor, I can make sure to reach out to both of them to let them know where they need to go and so they can report timely.
Okay. All right. That would be great. Since he's traveling today, we can't, there's no way we can get that accomplished today. So let's just say by 5 tomorrow. All right. Ms. Kirkpatrick, anything that you need to talk about today?
I don't think so. I mean, everything's been going pretty good.
Okay. And Mr. Nowak, on behalf of your client, anything today?
Yes, if it pleases the court. Duncan, why don't you give the judge a 30-second to 60-second update on your progress?
Okay. I have been completed everything that they've asked me to complete. I've been living at a sober living that drug tests multiple times a week, and have been doing that flawlessly. Been going to at least 7 AA or NA meetings a week. Working just kind of doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing.
Thank you, Duncan. And Judge, that's all I have.
Well, I'm very pleased that everything's going so well for both of you. So we just want to stick with it and make it a complete success story. All right, Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, the boys are back with paternal grandfather. I got to visit them in the home. They seem to be doing great. And I was really excited to read about parents' progress.
All right. And I'm assuming visits are going well and there's no problem with any of that.
They seem to be going very well.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's just a question of just let's maintain everything for a while. So I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue their placement. I will make a finding that there would be a continuing danger to send the children home today, but we are certainly on the right path, and it sounds like everything's going really, really well. So I'll see everybody back for our next review hearing on August 13th of 2024. All right, I'll call cause number 9830.
That means right there, that just means that they want another 3 months, 6 months of billing.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for those parents to fail, right? Like that's what they're doing there.
Yeah. And what was the danger today? Did you hear what she said? I will say that the children are still in danger today.
Yep. Imminent, because don't forget, this is supposed to be imminent danger. Right?
Right.
Like all this
right now. It's gonna happen like right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, let's do one more. Let's take a look at one more of these and see what goes on.
07D, in the interest of Braxton Thomas, we're here today set on our initial permanency hearing. We are conducting this through Zoom. Excuse me. We are also live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. All right, we'll go and take announcements.
Daniel Trout for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. Jennifer Campos is my pharmacy specialist. We're present ready.
Jerry Morales, respondent father, Your Honor. I've only had brief contact with him. Emailed him and called him before this hearing, but I haven't had contact since around the adversary hearing. I'm ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Braxton.
Okay. What do we have news since the court report was filed? Still looking for parents?
Yes, ma'am. I have not had any contact with Mr. Thomas at all. He won't return any phone calls or anything like that. We've done accurate searches on Kimberly. We've sent letters, numerous letters. I actually drove by an address yesterday that was on the accurate search, and that was another place that we had sent a letter to. We just don't have any response whatsoever from her or him.
So I know at one point in time, Mr. Morales' client had said that he was going to relinquish. I don't guess that's ever happened.
No, ma'am, it has not. I know that Mr. Morales, or we told him to reach out to Mr. Morales, and he never did after that. So I'm not sure where he stands. From what what I understand is that he won't take ownership of this child. I don't know why. That's just what was relayed to me by foster parents. They heard it from somebody else. So at this point, I don't know what to do with him, if we can't get relinquishment on him. But other than that, Braxton is doing well. He's had some change in medication. He was on Adderall. They had to take him off because it was making him mean and act like he was in the beginning of the case. And so he's just on risperidone and trazodone right now. Risperidone seemed to have worked a lot better, but he's doing way better in school. His attention span is a lot better. He's actually able to speak a little bit. They're not clear, but some words are clear, but overall he's doing good.
He's still in speech therapy, isn't he?
Yes, he's in speech therapy and physical therapy through Northwest They see him, I believe it's once a week. So they're working with him on things. And I believe he receives it at school as well. They help him as well.
Okay. Is the foster home interested in adoption?
I have not spoken to them about that. I can speak to them, but that hasn't came up really in our conversations.
It would seem fairly clear that that's the direction we're headed.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't, maybe Ms. Zavala has had that conversation. I don't know. Ms. Jones has never requested an attorney in this case. Right, Mr. Morales, anything to report today?
No, Your Honor. After Mr. Thomas acknowledged that he wanted to sign a relinquishment, I was never able to get a hold of him. I've only talked to him like maybe 2 or 3 minutes around the adversary. We lost connection and he wouldn't even answer after that. So I'm assuming what Ms. Campos reported is accurate, that he's just not interested.
All right, and Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, Raxon's progress has been pretty dramatic. He's really improved. I may be getting my cases confused, but I had thought a while back, I thought that it was not an adoptive home, but I do need to clarify that because if we did discuss it, it was definitely a while back. So I'll check in with them and get some clarification on that. But I've got no concerns about the home. They're doing great with him, making sure he gets what he needs. And his progress has been pretty dramatic.
Have we ever gotten any kind of report? I mean, I guess I just haven't seen anything recently or I missed it, but there was some concern that he had damaged vocal cords. Did we ever determine, is that correct, or is this something else causing he had this high pitch to his voice?
So he was taken to the ENT doctor in Dallas, Cook's Medical. They said that they didn't see anything, but he does have a follow-up appointment in June to make sure everything is still good to go. But they didn't see anything whenever they went for their appointment.
So no damage to the vocal cords?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And is the speech therapy seeming to help with his speech? I mean, is he still struggling with it just was described as a very high pitch to his voice.
Speech therapy is helping in some ways. I think that he's just kind of behind, that, he's having a hard time. It is working. I think it's just going to be a continuous continuous thing for him to get to where he needs to be. If that's ever the case, he was diagnosed with autism. And so I don't think he's going to be nonverbal. I think he's going to be verbal, but it may be, a little delayed.
Did we ever get any determination on how he got the scoring and did we ever get any information on that?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
I said, did we ever get any information or determination about the scarring that he had?
I never received anything. It was an old burn, from what I understand. But I never received anything like how old or anything like that.
And I do think he had some scarring around the head and ears. I think at that point it looked like a bite. I don't know that we got any further clarification on what it was that caused that.
All right, well.
And Judge, just update on mom's service again. We just filed yesterday a return of service. We had an address down in Houston. It came back unserved. They checked that apartment a couple of times. They said she didn't live there. So that was another attempt we've tried to serve her with, but no avail.
Well, let's just go to the next step because I'm going to set this for an early final. I'll continue the department as temporary manager conservator, continue the child's placement, find that there would be an ongoing danger to return the child home to either parent. And we'll set this for an early final, August 13th. So let's do some looking at foster home and see whether this is a possible adoptive home. And if not, then I think we need to start looking in that direction.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Campos, if you could get us an inability to locate on mom.
Sorry, I actually sent that to him yesterday.
Okay.
I will call cause number 97947.
Turn your mic on.
Those are people that are not going to come looking for their kids.
They don't want him or him.
Nope.
They want the child. Yeah, that's really what their job is for. This child is an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that kid. They just said he was autistic. The state definitely wants him because he's on that high criteria list where they're going to get a lot of money for him.
First thing they asked was what? Medication. Medicated. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Just.
Well, yeah, just damn right. Well, I don't know, Tiff.
We'll be
Another
on
day.
early tomorrow.
Yes, that's right, because you got your thingamaboo.
Yeah, my meeting's tomorrow night.
So we'll be on at o'clock tomorrow. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
10 or 11. And Alicia, I'm going to send you I'm going to talk to you on Messenger here after the show. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Bright and early.
That is to say, we live in a land we ought to be free. It's not seeming that's how it is shaping to be. The Constitution is supposed to guide us. Our government is taking it away and trying to deprive us. Our kids are taken every day by CPS agents looking for prey. They don't give a damn about the Constitution. We have found the one and only solution. There's a couple people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is the show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punisher's abolished all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. We all admit the times are hard. No little children in the front yard. Tiff and Punisher are fighting so hard. They're waging war, on their side is God. They don't stop if they get in trouble. They fighting for the children, double trouble. The strength they need, they get from each other. They have each other's back like sister and brother. They are Tiff and the Punisher, saving the families from corruption. They want you to join their movement, no repercussion. You need to learn that thing called the Constitution. Inside that document is our solution. CPS, we have your number. We are coming for you, hear our thunder. Your fate is sealed, have a nice day. You won't break another family. No more trauma for kids, that's like blasphemy. Keep your thoughts to your own ideals. Soon enough, you'll be clicking your heels. Because you need to go to jail. All of us fathers will be chugging down an ale. The mothers will squeeze their young ones tight as CPS workers are locked down for the night. They had a choice, they didn't make. Now they spend their days in crates. They should know it's wrong to kidnap. So from all of us, this is your payback. Here's a couple people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is their show. They want to stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punisher's abolished all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. That's all we need to get on with this fight. The document that most people court barely read in light. Pick the parts that pertain to your case. Show them the results and spit in their face. We are Tiff and the Punisher, fighting together, displaying our unity with birds of a feather. If it's a million, that's great, but one is just the same. We'll bring these kids home and know every name. We will smoke every social worker in court. Their heads down with no support. The country knows CPS is doing wrong. If they don't, then play them our song. We are Tiff and the Punisher.
Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they mightest feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
We know it's all about the money. We know they lie. We know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?